Did you ever see her and Chris fighting? They ever yelling and screaming at each other, or no? Never saw that. Never saw that. Okay. Anytime we visited or FaceTime, that's the first time they've been out in North Carolina in years. Okay, come up here, and I'll let you girls come up here and all of them come out here. Sure. Any indication of violence between them? Anybody, did she ever hit him? Did he ever hit her? Any kind of, anywhere got physical? I never known Chris be physical all besides when he played football back when he was in Pee Wee League. So he was a middle linebacker back then. Yeah. Okay. And then, so when he comes and he visits, he winds up staying up with them, and you guys all see each other for that last week. Would you see Chris? Did you see Chris that last night before they left? Last night. Okay. Does he come with the kids or just by himself? By himself. So she won't let the kids come over. That's when they said they went to see my mother, which is in a rehab center, which is like 7 or 8 miles from my house. He said he wanted to see us. He could have put later. But he got to see us for that time. He down and holding me down. Gotcha. So then, do they fly back to Colorado together? Yeah. And you think that's around the 9th or 10th, something like that? Somewhere in that neighborhood. She flew out. I think he had to go back to work on that Wednesday and Thursday. No, I think she flew out on Friday, if I'm mistaken. And come back that Monday, like 1 to about 1, I think, when her flight come back. And then when they come back here, you think she's here for a day or two, and then she goes on that trip to Arizona. Yeah. And she didn't take the kids with her on that trip. Right. No, she will never take kids with her. And then, so Chris, he's working. Is there a babysitter or somebody else? You've been out there in the daycare? Daycare. Oh, like you said, she takes him there about 7 or 8 o'clock in the morning. He picks him up on the way home from work. So she really don't have much time. Okay. So she drops him off, and then he typically picks him up on his way home. Okay. I guess probably sometimes she picks him up too, I reckon, but most of the time he picks him up. And I'm not saying that's the way the routine is all the time. I just know that's, that's basically how it works. Sure. And we're trying to go over every detail of everything that they do and just see what the routine is. So, okay. So she and then, you know what hours he works typically? At the, I think he said, he goes in about 5:30 in the morning. And most time, when we FaceTime at our house, it's between 6, 7, so it's around 5 something. He gets home, I think. And he's working long days. I think between 4 or 5 do. I mean, besides he has to do that day. They might be earlier than that, but that's the only we always try to FaceTime them by the time they eat dinner. That's when the kids are sitting there at home and stuff like this. And so when they got back, and then from the time they got back to Colorado, did you speak to him at all during that time? Or did you speak to him that first time on Monday? When you called him to say? I don't remember how I talked to him since then. I probably I'm on the phone, but probably had somebody on there, probably losing log. Yeah, it could be text messages, phone. I'm pretty sure I did, because he had told us before he left. That day he did come over and he said, he said it's not working. He said, I don't love her anymore. He said, it's just not there. He said, he loves the kids to death, but he said he was just done with her.
Okay, so I just want to point out some inconsistencies in what he says. So Ronnie, he goes on to say, you'll see, I want you guys to pay attention, when he says how Shanann knew in North Carolina. He says Shanann knew about the separation in North Carolina. He stresses, oh no, she knew already when they were in North Carolina. But then he goes on to say that she found out when they got back to Colorado around the same time she sent the sonogram picture. Because, you know, remember, he'll say, like, well, no, yeah, she sent that because that's when she found out. That's when Chris told her. So she wanted to kind of, like, try to, you know, make things right. So which is it? Did she find out in North Carolina, or did she find out when they got back to Colorado? Because Ronnie, in a matter of just a couple minutes, he says two different things. He says, oh, yeah, she knew in North Carolina. And then he goes on to say, yeah, that's why she sent that sonogram picture to us, because Chris had just told her then, so she wanted to try to make things right and make up for it. So I'm just confused as far as when did Shanann know that Chris was, you know, basically serious about getting a separation. I mean, I know she knew they're having problems, but Ronnie's making it seem like you'll hear that in North Carolina, oh no, she knew they were going to get a separation, and then he goes on just a couple minutes later saying, oh yeah, she found out when she sent that sonogram picture to us, which was actually after they already got the ultrasound when they were back in Colorado. So I'm confused. When did she know for sure? Because then if you listen to, you know, well, I don't know if we're to believe anything Chris says, but he says that they were planning on getting a house in Broomfield. That's why she looked in, you know, that's why she called the realtor and they were going to sell the house, that they were going to get a house together. So obviously up until the time that he killed her, it wasn't a for sure thing. Like Ronnie is thinking, and like Chris made it out to be, at least to NK, or even at points he says things that contradicts himself, where he's, you know, at first he'll be like, oh yeah, you know, she knew we were going to separation. And then he goes on to say how, oh yeah, we were looking for a house in Broomfield together, a cheaper house. I mean, and that was that morning he killed her. So I'm just so confused. When did Shanann know for sure about this? I don't know. Let me know what you guys think, but just pay attention to what Ronnie says. Okay, I'm going to play it now.
So he knew that by the time he was about to leave. Yeah, she knew it. She knew it too. He already told her about it. So had they, and how got to that, he said, well, he said, Colorado about 50-50 state or whatever, as far as husband and wife, he said, if I'm mistaken, he said, she was the one that put the house on the market already. Was the house for sale? He said he didn't want to go ahead and sell it. I think he said he wanted to bring a separation, put the house up for sale. And I don't know who told me that deal. Well, of course, Chris said they want to take it on to sell it in the house market around here anyway. I don't remember who told me that she went ahead and put it on the market. Okay. Yeah, we can talk Chris ain't got time. I think the time hours he works stuff, he ain't got time to watch it. We'll figure that out. But so they pretty much, and so she knew she wanted divorce as well, and separation with that. But I don't know how that was working, but that takes us when she sent the picture of the sonogram, and that was about the same time Chris told her, it ain't working. And that's when she was trying to get back into our lives, trying to make up promises she's done, I guess, over the years, whatever. Yeah, that was a reach out to us, more or less, the way I looked at it, trying to make everything all hunky-dory now again. Maybe she was thinking maybe Chris would change his mind or something or whatever, and she was talking about it or whatever. I don't know what her point behind it was. But that's when, I'm pretty sure that's where that text came from, when he told her that he wanted a separation. And what was the date on that again? The text? It was, that's what I'm trying to find, but maybe it's not on there. Oh, it says on Thursday. I think that was when they got back to Colorado. But he hasn't successfully got sonogram when she got back from Colorado. I thought they was going to do it. Let's see, so that would have been last Thursday. Last Thursday, the 8th, I think. Okay, today's the 15th. Yeah, it would have been the 8th. That's why I think she was trying to reach out, wanting to share something, a picture of the baby. I talked to you in 5 weeks now, or so 6 weeks now, all of a sudden you want to talk. All right. So, and then had Chris decided, 100%, was it something like where he was saying, thinking about a separation? Yeah. I don't think so, because, I think he pretty much made up his mind. A tough situation, it wasn't working, he didn't see it getting any better. And then has she ever disappeared before? Has she ever like said I'm taking the kids and going to a friend's house, or said I'm going to go stay at my friend's house by myself, and then you were anything like that? I'm not aware of it. No, no. Okay. And then how about him? Has it ever got bad where he's like, yeah, I'm just going to go spend the night someplace else, or I got to get away from you guys, go to a hotel? No, where nothing like that. Okay. All right. So they've never had a situation in the house where one of them had to leave. Not that I'm aware of. Okay. And then as far as police, ever mentioned, Chris ever mentioned police come to the house, domestic violence, any kind of nothing. All right, so it's never got that bad. But they just, for whatever reason,
He didn't love her anymore. It just wasn't working. You like to think about the new baby here, so a lot of things they said, if she was pregnant, so you might just have to tough it out, just have the baby and help her out with that. But like I said, she said it was his idea, he said it, told her it was her idea on another child.
And then anything on either side where, they're fighting about how that would look, if they do separate, who's going to stay in the house, who's going to have to move out, or,
Well, like I said, they said that more or less, it was a 50-50 state that's going to sell the house, and more or less, they pay child support, and give them separate lease, and, I don't know, it's still up in the air about, visitation and all that, they ain't got that far yet. He just told me he wasn't going to file a separation, I don't think, was it 90 days or not, what was it? Not a lot of, I don't know, I don't know, I think it's a year.
Yeah, I'm not sure about that, actually. So sure. I don't know what the state law is on that.
Yeah. It's either 90 days or 9 months, I'm not sure which one it is, something like that. Chris had told me about what it was.
Okay.
But, more or less, it wasn't going to work, he didn't see it was going to be changing anything, go back to, and he said when he come down, when she was in North Carolina, when he come down, she said, guess what you changed? I said, well, he said, I haven't changed, I just realized I'm just alone at the house when you're there and you're not there. And I said, there's no difference. So that's more or less how he worked out.
Okay. And then when he called you on Monday to let you know that something's wrong, don't know where they are, the whole thing. So can you tell me about that? What was he thinking at that time? What was he?
Well, no, he said, he was upset, big time, upset. He said, he said, I don't know what the hell's going on. He said, you don't know if she took the kids and left, but he said the car's here, their phone's here. He said, another make me damn sense there. I don't know what the hell's going on. Unless he said somebody was going to pick her up. But, there's no evidence of nothing. I mean, like I said, they left her car there, and the phone, and her purse. So, he said, another makes a damn sense. He said, all the doors were when he got there, and I guess the police had come for a wellness check or whatever. And he said, all the damn doors were locked. So he said, when she left on her own. Went out and go behind her. Well, door don't have to lock anyway, but still.
And he didn't mention anything about any problem with the house or anything like that. There's nothing. There was no broken window. There was no
He said
kicked door.
He said he didn't see nothing. I guess when the police got there, they looked around too. They didn't see anything. But he said, I asked him, I said, what happened earlier in the day? He said, he told me, what, that discussion, the talk they had that morning, told him to go ahead and file separation and stuff. And everything, and he said, I'm going to go to work. She said, I'm going to go stay with a friend.
Also, she said she was going to leave.
She told him, I'm going to go stay with a friend, but didn't say who.
Didn't say who.
But she just got back from that trip with them two, Nicole and somebody else, whatever those name was. Well, that's what he told her. She told him that she was going to go stay with a friend.
Any idea who that would be? Who's closest to her?
I have no idea. She's got so many damn followers. I mean, she's got
A lot of Facebook friends.
hundreds.
Okay.
Hundreds. I mean, and a lot of them around here. And that girl that did the wellness dudes, that was one of them that just got back from where it was Arizona, someone was Arizona, they didn't do that LaBelle thing, that was, I guess she lives out there somewhere, because she's listening to her on the news broadcast for an interview in front of the house.
Also, had she went on that business trip to Arizona with her?
Do you know what it is? With that woman, Nicole, something, and Columbia. I don't know if you've seen in the news feeds or what, but she was one of them that was talking to the press outside Chris's house.
Oh, yeah, and I actually haven't seen any of that stuff yet.
That's one thing they catch a fish, that's dog.
There you go.
That's her right there.
That's, that's Nicole.
Yeah.
Okay. We don't know her last name. Is that her last name?
Yeah.
Not last. Glasses. What's that last name?
U-T-O-F-T. U-T-O-F-T. That's a hell of a name.
Yeah, Utah. Sorry, my glasses.
U-T-O-F-T. That's what it is.
Okay. So that's the friend she went on a trip with to Arizona.
Well, there she is. Well, there's a bunch of people there, put it that way.
Okay. Yeah, I'm not sure if we've spoken to her yet or not, but we're trying to speak to everybody.
We had some pictures of her and a whole group of other people, maybe diggers and stuff, and I can't get on to it now. Is that her name? I can't put a picture of it, can't tell that's her.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah.
So, and then he spoke to you, and you think it was about 4:30, right, on Monday?
About 4 hours, part-time, because I just got home from work, I think I was eating, so when I get home, I'm about 6:30. And now between 4:30 and 5 here, so somewhere in that neighborhood.
And that's fine, it's all fine. And so he spoke to you, essentially said, don't know where she is, nothing's missing, the house isn't broken, and nothing like that.
He said,
Just don't know where.
he said, I'm like, yeah, I haven't no clue what she's been there. I said, the kids are gone, she's gone.
Do you know, so the kids normally go to Monday, so the kids normally go to daycare?
That's, I don't know, I see some posts sometimes where she'll take Cece to date to the school, and sometimes take Bella with her on like a afternoon playtime, take her to a park or out to eat lunch type things and stuff like that, and go back and pick up Cece later. She won't take both of them at the same time, but
Okay.
Listen to the way Ronnie says, I don't think so. It's like he's in a zone or in like a trance or something. It might not be anything. I'm just trying to pick out some interesting things that I'm hearing, but it just caught my attention how he was kind of just like sitting there staring for a minute and just like, I don't think so. But I'll replay it for you. Here you go.
But did Chris mention to you whether or not the kids got to daycare, whether they were there or not?
that thing on Monday.
Yeah, on Monday?
No, those things, no, those things, no, those things,
Because I'm just wondering, so if they're not home well, actually, I don't know what time he gets home, but I'm just wondering if, did he mention
well,
them going to daycare?
well, that day, I don't think they ever went because, when he called me that night, he said the girl was gone. If I'm mistaken, what he had said, that Nicole girl was supposed to have hooked up with Shanann that day. They just got back, what, 2 o'clock in the morning from Arizona, where it was. And Shanann was supposed to have a doctor's appointment that day also. And she didn't show the doctor's appointment. That's when she went over there for a knock on the door and get away next door. That's when she called the police for a witness check. And that's what she said on the news broadcast.
But did he mention that? Did Chris tell you that? That she had a doctor's appointment?
No.
Or you just saw it?
I saw him.
Okay. I just don't want to write anything.
Oh,
Because it.
No.
Okay, yeah. So I'm just wondering what he had mentioned to you. So did he know if she made the doctor's appointment? Or that didn't even come on?
That didn't come up.
And
Did he know if the kids went to daycare? That was never brought up before. So evidently, over time, she went over there to check on Shanann, and that's the wellness check. I guess they had to call Chris to come home, open the doors and let them, look around and stuff, which he says they did, look around and didn't find nothing. And come back a few hours later with a warrant, search warrant to search the house. State of the area, so that's basically all he told me that one night, and he was really upset big time. He said we had no clue what it was that, what the hell happened. He was growing up, just didn't know. And that was the one that called on Monday, and then was there another phone call? Did he call or? And actually, that was a phone call. That was a text or anything or email. That was a phone call. Were there any other ones between now and then where you guys spoke on the phone or he texted you or emailed you or anything like that? Just more or less tell me what was going on about the news crews being out there and all this stuff, and then still come back looking at the house. And well, yesterday they did. Yesterday they did something. I forgot what it was. But you guys, have you been in touch on a regular? Oh no, you probably talked more than once, right? Oh yeah. Anything by email or text, or just all phone calls? Most of them was phone calls. And I told them just to call me when we got a chance. People were blowing up his phone and putting plates and then the news crews out there and all that shit. And I said, how do you survive? And I'm like, no, they got to be parked outside the house. Sure. Okay. So you talked to several times, a bunch of times between Monday and then you flew in this morning. And actually, what time did you get in today? I got here at about 9:15, 9:20 when I landed at the airport. Okay. And that's when you called Chris and asked him to stop by here. We was on the way back from the airport. Okay. Did he come pick you up? I did.
Okay, so I'm going to play you a part in the interview from Chris's second confession when he talks about the ride home from the airport with his dad. So he said that they didn't talk about what was going on, that he just talked about sports and just tried to, talk about other things. So I'm going to play you this part where he says that in the interview, and then you'll notice how Ronnie will keep saying, he'll mention different things about what they talked about on the way home from the airport. And it's actually is about this stuff. About, Ronnie's asking questions about what's going on and trying to throw out ideas and scenarios and different things, and you'll see. So that I'm just trying to point out, I guess, what I'm saying, I guess it's not news to us all that Chris is a liar, but it's just another example where Chris lied. Because obviously they did talk, because, I feel like I believe Ronnie more than Chris, because this is actually before Chris even confessed. So, I don't know, I feel like Ronnie was probably being somewhat honest about their conversation to a degree. Maybe he probably held back a lot, maybe what they talked about, but I bet you at least what he said they talked about, they probably did talk about that, plus probably even more. He probably actually held back as much as they talked about it. But you'll see. So I'm going to play the interview, and then I'll continue playing this interview with Ronnie, and you just pay attention all the times he brings up, like, different conversations they had on the way back from the airport about his family, which Chris says they didn't talk about his family. They talked about sports. So let me know what you guys think about that. Okay, here we go.
One of the more kind of poignant or tender moments in all of this was seeing you with your dad when he came in. What was it like when you picked him up at the airport?
It was very strange. It was kind of like I almost knew this was probably the last time I'd ever see him on the outside. In my head, I knew that.
Yeah. What'd you guys talk about?
Honestly, like, he just wanted to talk about sports. He's always kind of like, distance himself from like a problem type thing. Like, when, like, if there was ever an issue or anything like that, he always want to talk about, like, just bring up, like, when I would try to get him to quit smoking, like, all the time. Like, that's after, like, I graduated high school and whatnot. He would.
Are you talking about cigarettes?
Yeah.
Okay.
And he would always, like, just change stuff. He's like, oh, you ever happened in the race? Football or something? I mean, he just never wanted, like, he said, okay, yeah, I'll get to it, and he just, boom, something else. And I just kind of felt like it was kind of like that, like he asked like a few questions, like, do you know where they're at? And do you think, you know where they're at or anything like that? And I just, told him no. And then like, just want to talk about sports and just like normal things. And just kind of, I'm not sure if he maybe knew anything, maybe he kind of figured out something maybe happened and just wanted to talk to me as his son.
Is it possible he saw that you were in a stressful situation and wanted to do what he always did? Make things comfortable.
I think that was a good way to put it.
I bet you picked up a lot of that from him.
Yeah, because stressful situations, like the gray hair didn't show it, but like I try not to be in stress. But it's like I worked on cars. There's a lot of stress. It's always, it's on commission. You get paid what you do, not by showing up. So, then Darker was a little less stressful because, I got paid just to be there. But,
Was your dad's marriage like yours and Shanann's marriage, as far as like your dad was the more passive one and your mom was the more
my mom
dominant?
was always the more aggressive one.
Was she like Shanann in a way? Were you attracted to Shanann because she was kind of like how your mom and dad's relationship was, or?
It was like, it almost mirrored like her mom and dad's relationship, honestly, because her dad's like my dad. They're both like kind of calm, cool, collected.
I could see that, yeah.
And her mom is very...
Sandy rules that roost.
Yeah.
Yeah. Very. And it's just like, I kind of related it to that. Because like, her mom always said like, she always told Shanann that she would marry somebody that was kind of like her dad. I felt like I was kind of like that. I wasn't like, I couldn't build a lot of things he could, but, our personalities were kind of like,
I wasn't going to Uber, but he texted me once I turned my phone back off, everything moved. He texted me, said, if I'm building land, like no big deal. He said, how do you see him on the ride? How's he doing? Is he hanging in there? Or he's hanging in there, but he just stood up 100 questions. Well, what the hell was going on there? He said, he said, I don't know if she's done something. Like I asked him, so they still building houses back in my apartments, where he lived at. Last time I come down, I had to keep building behind him there. And I said, are you still doing construction work? He said, yeah. So you don't think anything construction building snapped dirt or something? So I said, I'm just thinking about different scenarios. And that's what you got to do. Think about any possibility. Does he have it? Did he have any idea? Is he anything that he thought to you saying, hey, maybe this happened, or, did he see anybody suspicious around the house? Did he have a confrontation with anybody? Any problem with a coworker? Because I guess he's a low-key guy.
Okay, so kind of odd thing Ronnie says. He says, if I'm hearing right, that's why I'm going to replay it a couple times for you and see if you guys are hearing the same thing I'm hearing. But it sounds like he's saying, I'm cold-blooded. And I like it, damn it. I don't know, is that kind of a weird thing to say when you're being interviewed by the FBI? Saying I'm cold-blooded and I like it, damn it. I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. I kind of get why he said that, because he goes on to explain how it takes him a lot to get mad, and same with Chris. So I just thought it was just an odd choice of words to call himself cold-blooded and say, I like it, damn it, to a FBI agent. I don't know, like when I hear cold-blooded, you use that term like in an evil sense. Usually, like when I hear it's like cold-blooded murderer or cold-blooded psycho, or just somebody that just has no feelings and is just cold, It's not a good adjective for you to describe yourself. At least I wouldn't think of it as a good adjective, but he's obviously looking at it as something good. He's like, I'm cold-blooded and I like it, damn it. So it's just kind of creepy how he says that, and he has that little smirk. So let me know what you guys think. Okay, here it is. And then I slow it down a couple times in different audio filters to kind of hear, like the first one you could hear the cold-blooded better. Well, you can hear the cold-blooded, I feel like, in all of them, but the first one will be in the regular speed, and then the second one is the second two will be in slow motion. Let me know what you guys think. Here it is.
He's very calm, cold-blooded. I like him. He's very cold-blooded. I like him. Chris Haugen be pissed off on him.
Yeah. So, okay, so he's not a guy who's getting into confrontations, not that much. He didn't mention any enemies or anybody who's got a beef with him or you know, any reason why somebody would want to get at him or get at the family or nothing. So no threats, nothing. Okay. No problems. And from what,
You know, the thing.
yeah. I'm a scribble guy, so I just scribble all over the place, but I had it up here. I remember.
I think I try to have a pretty good memory, but I've been in the parts business for 30-something years, so the numbers and everything else do. It's really worth it.
And this is a general interview, you know,
Yeah.
just trying to get a baseline. And you
never know what can help.
because if everybody remembers a little something, then they'll.
Well, I love it. I mean, I love grandbabies to death. I love her too. Well, we got along good for a few days each time. And so there's always something come up there. So like I said, she's all about what she wants when she wants it. Not trying to put her down or nothing like that. That's just where her personality is.
Okay, so I just want to point out, he goes on to ask Ronnie if he thinks that Shanann would ever hurt her kids. And Ronnie says, no, I don't think she'd ever hurt them. Now remember, this is before Chris confesses. But then, remember his interview after Chris confesses? And actually, while Chris is confessing, he can't stop talking about agreeing that, yeah, that it doesn't surprise him that Shanann would do that. That it was, you know, that it was almost like, he made it seem like, oh yeah, that it makes sense that Shanann would do that. When before Chris confesses, like right here, I'm going to play it and you'll just listen to what he says. He says, no, I don't think she would ever hurt the kids. I don't know, I just find that kind of interesting. So I did subtitles for the interview with Ronnie after Chris confesses. I did that maybe like a month or so ago, so I'll put it in the description, the link to that video, so you could see, you know, what he says after Chris confesses compared to what he says before Chris confesses. And then even during the confession, I have a video too that actually has subtitles, parts of it during when Chris is confessing. But I'll do the rest sometime here in the future. The part that I didn't do the subtitles for during the confession with him and Chris kind of like whispering, and I'm going to try to make all that out, what they're saying. So, but anyway, so I thought that was interesting that he says, no, she would never hurt the kids. And then also I found interesting that he says that he's been profiling her. Like he's like a, you know, FBI agent. Oh, I've been profiling Shanann and, you know, so he says, yeah, I've been profiling Shanann, and he talks about how she doesn't do a lot for the kids. Like he says, oh, she loves them, but she doesn't do a lot for them. Like, doesn't spend a lot of time with them, and doesn't do any of that, like, you know, give them baths or take them here or do this or feed them. He makes it seem like she doesn't do any of that, and Chris does it all. So I just think it's kind of funny how he says, like, oh, I've been profiling her, you know, like he's some FBI agent, Ronnie, you know, oh, I've been profiling Shanann, but she's not doing a whole lot for the kids. So I just think that's bullcrap. Obviously, she did a lot for the kids. In my opinion, I know I wasn't there, but even from what we could see, yeah, Chris was a active dad. You could tell he was, you know, he did do stuff for his kids too, but so did she. I mean, you could see her too. I mean, you can't just say that he's the only one that did that. I don't believe that. So, okay, so here it is.
Well, and for us, it's important to know who we're dealing with, right? If we're looking for somebody, what they might have done, where they might have gone. Is there anything you think, from your knowledge of her, do you think she's the type of person who hurt herself or hurt her children?
I would say the kids, no. When it comes down to herself, I don't know. But to them kids, I don't think she would. I know I profiled her as she's not doing a whole lot with the kids, but she loves the kids. And it's like Chris loves her. I love the kids and like everybody who loves them. But as far as her doing something to herself, I wouldn't say yay or nay. But you never know what somebody gets mad.
Any health problems? Either physical or mental?
Not to my knowledge, she had lupus years ago, but that's under control. And she had something on her spine done not too long ago. Not sure what that is. No, some deterioration of some vertebrae or something. She had to get chemo, you know. Any mental issue, you're aware of her going to a psychiatrist, psychologist, any kind of, no, I was told about that. And any counseling that you were aware of? The other two of them ever tried to get counseling to work out? Something they tell dads sometimes they don't. That's true. That's true. I know I don't tell my parents anything. And anything else you can think of that might be useful? Is any friends that they ever talked about, or any anybody who they interact with? I mean, yes, she's got a bunch of friends that way, and they always have these little parties and meetings sometimes at their house and stuff. But Christopher's got some of his friends, and he said he stayed with friends of his last night, but he didn't feel like going back to the house, all the stuff going on over there and stuff, so he stayed with them last night. And with those, his closest friends, or who would be, I don't really know what his closest friends around here are, but I ain't really met many of them when we come down. Most of the time when we come down, we go out to the zoo and stuff like this, and all kind of everything else around here, and splash pads and stuff like that. We really met his friends that much. Did he, is Chris, because I know she's got thousands of friends on Facebook, but does Chris have, is he on Facebook? Does he do that? He does. He just recently did, he's tired of hearing all the posts about negative shit. So. Okay. And is he a social guy? Does he have a lot of friends? Or he has, not that many. He has a few. I mean, he doesn't own anybody. Not like I do when they take me out as I am. But he's not a big social media guy, or, friends and parties, and I don't know. It's like when she was young, you said he went to the drag races in town, in HRA. I don't know what you went to in years. Like me and him used to go racing all the time back when he was young and stuff. I did NASCAR races, drag races and stuff, and he'd done that in years and did that. He said, I missed that. I ain't done that long. So he probably got some break, just being by himself. And a couple of buddies from work went out into that drag racing one Saturday and come back home. Okay. Yeah. Oh, was that this Saturday? No, was that last week? Okay. Okay. Yeah. And then nobody else you can think of. I mean, he didn't ever say to your dad, this guy at work is pain in the neck, or this neighbor of mine does strange stuff, or none of them said something like that. And then at the construction, when I asked again about that, so there's construction going on behind the house. And did you see anybody I just walked out that to him all the way back there. Okay. He didn't mention it. I mentioned that to him. I said, they're still doing construction. Around people, when they come, little crews come and go. You got electricians over here, plumbers over here, woodworkers over here, and they work 2 or 3 times and poof, they're gone. I just throw that out there. I said, I don't think about it. Different scenarios what could happen. Right. I said, just throw that out there. I said, heard the kids might have been in the backyard. And, I mean, there's plenty of people around there, but depending on what time day it was, stuff too. So. Yeah, but so nothing suspicious though. That you're aware of. Okay. Yeah, and obviously Chris is, they're talking to him, and we're talking to everybody, and then, if anybody saw anything suspicious, hopefully that'll come off. But okay. But I did mention something. Chris mentioned something to me that they, on the way back, that there was a debit or credit thing on one of her credit cards for that same day they got back for a taxi or a limo. So he said he called the bank, said issue transactions, and she used a credit card for a taxi or a limo on that same day. On Monday. Huh? Do you know what time that was? I don't know. That's what I was trying to find out. I said, you know what time it was and everything? He says, no. He said, it was just a transaction. He thought y'all knew about that already. Yeah, and they probably might, but we had so many people working on this that... I said, well, that's the limo all the girls took back. I think there's 3 girls from out here. And I said, was that a limo the girls took back from the airport? Back home? And I said, there's 3 different people, 3 different places. But on the news broadcast one day, she said she brought Shanann home between 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning when she dropped her off. And who was that? Who brought it? Nicole brought her home. Okay. That's what the podcast said. So Nicole went with her to Arizona. Yeah. So Nicole must have parked the car or something. And yeah, but as Chris says, yeah, Nicole's car was at the airport. So I said, well, if the car was at the airport, why didn't he get a damn taxi or a limo taxi? Yeah. But does he think that's what the charge was? Is that they took a taxi home from? That's what he said. Well, he didn't know. He didn't know what time it was. All he said was a transaction for either a taxi or a limo taxi for that date, but he didn't know what time it was or anything else. Okay. And they couldn't tell him if the taxi came, what time? They don't know. It's just on the credit card payment. All right. We'll find out. No answer about that. Just thought I'd throw that there. Everything matters. I'm just trying to think of things. If they got in a car and they went somewhere, obviously we want to know that. Yeah, right. Yeah. And did he mention anything about any neighbors or anything? Any neighbors? Because I'm assuming he probably talked to his neighbors. Yeah, well, everybody out of windows and shit. Yeah, well, for sure. Yeah, but they didn't see anything or hear anything? Not to my knowledge. They haven't seen nothing, but it depends on what time of the day it was. They probably was going to work and stuff and everything else, huh? Okay. Anything else you can think of? I'm thinking. Well, it's just, Chris, does he have any brothers or sisters? Yeah, sister. Are they close at all? Or do you reach out? They're kind of close to me. They talked quite a bit here recently. That's my daughter, Jamie. Jamie? Yeah. She lives in Parkins, about 20 miles, 30 miles from my house. In North Carolina. Yeah. Just in case we need to reach out to her. Yeah, she said, Good Morning America called her yesterday. Who did? Good Morning America called my daughter yesterday. One of them had me come. Jamie says, excuse me, I'm not. That's the thing, the news, we all love this. Yeah, they are national news. Anytime somebody goes missing, it's just, Okay. And then, is there any relatives of yours here in Colorado? Well, Chris was at, there's no cousins, there's no distant relatives, nothing. And do you know if I was going to say wrong, say Shanann, but it's Shanann. Yeah, you're used to that. Yeah. So Shanann, do you know if she has any relatives here? Not my knowledge, no, there's some.
It's kind of weird that Ronnie thinks they had a house before that, like... I don't know, that he didn't know that they only had one house out there. I mean, wonder why he thought that was their second house. I don't know, I just thought that was kind of strange that he didn't even know how many houses they had. It wasn't that long ago. I mean, I don't know, I guess maybe some people don't pay attention to those details. You would think as much as they go to Colorado and visit them, you would think that Ronnie would know that they only had that one house, but I don't know. I just wanted to point that out.
Whenever he moved out here, got some friends of hers moved out here or something. And I don't remember exactly the reason they moved out here to begin with, but when they first moved out there, he worked at a Ford dealership, and she was working a couple different jobs, hot jobs and stuff. I think that's the second house they had. They had another house before they got that one. Second house? Yeah. If I remember serves right, I could be wrong. Okay. No problem. And do you know why they moved to Frederick? Any particular reasons? Close to work or what's that? I'm not sure how far his work is from here. Because when he was working at the Ford dealership, he was working. What's that? I don't remember in town where he was working at. It wasn't just a Ford dealership out here. It was another one, Longmont. That's where he drove over there. Okay. Yeah, that's a pretty close commute. Yeah. But there was nothing special about Frederick. It wasn't that, they had some friend here or some relative. No. Okay. All right. Well, I can't think of anything else unless there's something else that pops up. You think that might be useful. I mean, they're gonna, what we're gonna do. We're gonna search everything. We're talking to everybody. Yeah. So, and obviously the whole country's aware of it. It's national news. But yeah, we'll do everything we can and see where things lead us. So, if you do think of anything else, let us know. I'm going to be, so we're sort of a joint team of investigators here. We have, of course, Frederick PD, we have state CBI, actually FBI, so we have FBI as well. And so we have a whole group of investigators who are working on this. And we will be until we resolve it. There's got to be an answer somewhere. Well, that's it. I mean, I hate to say that my wife watched a lot of ID Discovery. Yeah, my wife too. And she did, I said, no, you're not filming. I said, you're too much of a freak. You'll have them come along about these Discovery. Yeah. Yeah, no, it's a tough situation. Yeah. With these things, you can't make any assumptions. You just got not anything. Yeah. You get everything in black and white. You know? Yeah. Well, I got a feeling, of course, he'll probably going to be here for a while because talking to him is going to be from the day he was born. Or so it's probably going to be a long day for you. I apologize in advance, but we got to get every single detail we can, and then of course we'll be at this, round the clock. So I don't know what can make you most comfortable. You have his vehicle. Yeah, you have access to that if you need it. You have keys. Okay, and then obviously, I don't know how much there is to do with Frederick, or if you want to go eat lunch or whatever you want to do. Walk up down the street, find something. That's what I say. I'm sure. I just want to plug my phone up and start or something. Okay. All right. You gonna be around? Yeah, I'm gonna be around. We'll be in and out. Mark. Yeah. And that's Chris's best friend from way back when they was Mark. Easy to remember now. Okay. That's good. What?
Okay, so the FBI agent goes on to tell Ronnie that there's all kinds of people and they're, chasing down leads. So then Ronnie's like, oh, can you tell me about the leads? And the FBI agent says basically, well, actually, this is about it. Like, they don't really have anything else. He said, well, that'd be about it, just they don't really have anything, is what it sounds like to me. And then Ronnie laughs like it's funny or something. And then the FBI agent even kind of laughs back. I just don't understand the odd, inappropriate times that they laugh. It just seems very disrespectful. And then he goes on to say, the FBI agent goes on to say that, he just found out about the case this morning, so he's a little bit behind. And Ronnie's like, oh, playing catch up, and then he laughs again. It's almost like, this isn't a laughing matter. I don't understand why that's so funny that he's playing catch up and he's behind and they don't have any leads. How is that funny? I don't know. I don't get it, unless if it's just like a nervous laugh. I'm not sure. It just seems inappropriate. Let me know what you guys think.
And Graham here too, one of us will try to keep in touch with you. Again, we got a room full of investigators. We have all sorts of people out on the road, running down leads, speaking to people, as you can imagine. Right? I know y'all said y'all had leads, so that you can't say nothing about. I know that. To be perfectly honest with you, I hadn't told you yet. I didn't even know about this until early this morning. So basically, we call in bodies. If we need to, we can call in 100 more investigators. So we call in everybody who we need. So I got a phone call this morning saying, come down to Frederick PD. So I'm behind the curve as far as what's going on. Yeah. So I'm just here. You walked in. Hey, I can talk to you. So if we get any information, we're going to let you know. And then you're right here at the police department. So. Yeah, so just if you want to make yourself as comfortable as you can. I'm going to get a glass of water and stuff for it. Got those are things you need to do. Let's see. I guess I'm not as that would be a first. That would be a slight part from outside, wouldn't it? What's that? No. What the heck? Slight thing from outside. This would be the first, yeah. Let's see. These ain't going to do it. That's never mind. I don't know if they see us. Oh. There we go. All right, thank you, sir. Okay.
So what do you guys think of that? It's kind of odd how they laughed at certain points. Both of them laughed at inappropriate times, I feel like. So, I don't know. I'm sure they didn't mean it in any disrespectful way. I'm not sure, but if you catch, all the inappropriate times that they would laugh, it was just kind of uncomfortable to watch at certain moments. And then talking about his wife, why he didn't bring her, it was just uncomfortable to watch at certain moments. Even if you watch his other interviews, after the confession and the first part of this interview, the part one of this interview, they just laugh at very inappropriate times. So I don't know. Something I noticed and it kind of bugged me, but let me know what you guys think. And I think, that's the end of this one. So I'm gonna try at one point, I don't know if it'll be my next video, but I am gonna do the subtitles for the portion, like I said, the portion of when Chris is confessing and Ronnie's in there and they're like whispering back and forth. I'm going to try to do subtitles for that. That'll probably take me a while, so I'll probably upload videos before that while I'm working on it, but I'll eventually finish it. Okay, guys, so you guys all have a great night, and I will talk to you next time. Bye.